So why are the Toronto Raptors like really good this year? Like I know in the Eastern Conference there were a lot of teams where we said, okay, no Tatum, Giannis doesn't have a second option, Miami Heat superpowers were out. These are the teams that could take over. Obviously, we said Detroit 13-2 doing great things. We said the Orlando Magic, they're not really doing what we thought they would do. We said the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're still one of the top teams, but they're not really dominating the way that people predicted they were. But the Toronto Raptors are 11-5 on a 6-game winning streak, second in the Eastern Conference, 9-1 in their last 10. Let me read you guys some stats. 121.1 points scored per game. That's 5th in the NBA. 114.6 points allowed per game. That's 10th in the NBA. They're 50.5%. They're third best in the league for field goal percentage. They're fifth best in the league for three-point percentage. They're second in the league for assists per game, 30.4 assists per game. This team is doing absolutely crazy stuff, man. I mean, when you look at this roster on paper, it's a roster that always had talent, right? I mean, you've got Scotty Barnes, you've got Ingram, you've got Quickly, R.J. Barrett, Jakob Poeltl, you got Jamal Sheed, Grady Dick, etc. You've got all these guys on paper that were good, but I think people really thought Toronto, when you get sent to the Raptors, that's essentially, let's get your bag, you're on the NBA's graveyard team now. Charlotte is the same thing, but Toronto, like, you're not even in the country, bro. You're in a completely different country. Nobody, wants to say, I want to play for the Raptors. Vince Carter did put Toronto on the map, but people aren't like, I want to get drafted by the Raptors as my number one option, even with the Kawhi Leonard ring, right? But Scotty Barnes, 19-7-5. Brandon Ingram, 21-6-4, having a great defensive and offensive season. Emmanuel Quickly, huge step up from where he started in the season, averaging 16-4-6. R.J. Barrett giving you 19-5-4. A post we did on BoxInOne, and I'm going to put it up on the screen here. Shout out to roischand, who you're also going to hear from in this video. We said that the issue with the Raptors is they have this three-headed goat, but they don't necessarily know how to put it together. Well, now they're actually putting it together, and the fact that they don't have a number one in the NBA that is very dependent upon sometimes stars playing out of their minds for teams to win is actually really good because you have a conglomerate effort of guys who are winning again. Someone like Jamal Sheed doing absolutely incredible things off of the bench, just being that type of guy. Grady Dick giving you good production. Colin Murray-Boyle's giving you good production. He's a little questionable right now dealing with a knee injury, but still, he's giving you good production. I mean, everybody on this team is doing great things. And we're going to hear from the man himself, Roischand, who lives in Canada, for why the Raptors have been so impressive. Take it away, Royce.
This is what Royce wanted.
The Toronto Raptors are number 2 in the East as of recording this podcast. After starting the year 1-4 as well, by the way.
Why did his journalism voice just turn on so much? Continue, but he really hopped on. Let me let you hop it back, Royce.
I had to bring up the corporate voice for this. This is serious business. This is a real business. But anyways, Darko Rajakovic, no matter what seed the Raptors end, he's going to be in the Coach of the Year combos no matter what. This guy came in and absolutely changed the culture for the Raptors. The Raptors culture was a joke before he came. I don't know if you guys remember, I think it was last year, and Scotty was getting fouled and they weren't calling the fouls or whatever, and he was like, Scotty Barnes is the franchise player.
Yeah.
He goes so hard for his players, which is, I think, is what the Raptors were missing. They literally needed an actual leader. But yeah, anyways, Scotty Barnes is finally being that guy that people thought he was going to be when he got drafted. Elite defensively. He's got his shot back. 27-5. How many players are giving you 27-5? Brandon Ingram is having the best season of his career. Let me tell you this. Brandon Ingram and great defense in the same sentence. If you told me he was doing that in 2020, I wouldn't believe you. Also, R.J. Barrett, probably one of the best off secondary players in the NBA right now. He's doing exactly what he needed to do. The post that I made about the Raptors that they didn't have a legit number one, that's actually a good thing, it turns out. If Scotty's not getting the ball, it allows him to facilitate more. B.I.'s attacking the rim, getting to his spots easily. R.J. Barrett, a great off-ball player. Sandro Mamukelashvili. The Raptors finally have a big who can literally come off the bench and do everything. You know how long Raptors fans have been waiting for that? It's literally Chris Boucher. That's it. After Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka left, the Raptors had no bigs. A big that can stretch the floor for this Raptors team is so important, and that's probably one of the reasons why they're top. Literally everyone on this team can shoot, everyone can score, everyone can defend. I'm having a great time. I can ride the Raptors all I want.
Bro's a proud Canadian.
Emmanuel Quickly 16 points per game now.
He's back.
Yeah,
Hasn't Jamal Sheed been hooping as well?
Bro.
Yeah.
Jamal Sheed I
feel
love
like
that guy, bro. I can't even put into words how important he is to this team. Bro, he's
Yeah.
6 foot. He's 6 foot, and he locks down perimeter defenders, and he shoots 60% at the rim. At 6 foot, he does that.
So yeah, I think Royce said it the best, but to kind of springboard off of what he was talking about, Toronto shows how important it is to have a culture as a team. Darko is a guy who fights for his players. I mean, he was cussing out refs when the Raptors were clearly going to get a lottery pick, and he's still doing the same thing, and the Raptors are winning. When you have a guy that fights for your team, we always say this, the troops are only going to be as strong as their commander. If your commander's kind of like, do we really want to fight for him? I don't know, man. Your team is going to give up. I think the Memphis Grizzlies is a great example of this as well. Taylor Jenkins lost the locker room. You lose the production from the Grizzlies. And then Ja Morant, even though the Grizzlies are still winning some games, he's not necessarily being the one that's really forcing those guys to play at a high level. I'm not saying it's his role. I'm not saying it's a knock on Ja Morant at all. But you can see when that Memphis Grizzlies team lost Dillon Brooks, that culture guy, that guy who was willing to run through a wall for them, that is when that culture died down. It's why the Golden State Warriors are never going to trade Draymond Green, despite some of his very hard to deal with on and off court antics. He's willing to run through a wall for Stephen Curry and those guys. Sometimes he may run into walls, and those walls may be his teammates in practice, but that's neither here nor there. When you have a guy that really sets the tone and really puts into the minds of the players that, we can be a winning team, there's so much that team can do. I thought I liked the Raptors moves. I didn't necessarily like the Jakob Poeltl contract, but what I did like from the Raptors, I did like the Brandon Ingram signing. I thought that was going to be one that definitely paid dividends in the next couple of seasons. I didn't expect it to be this season, but they're doing great things. 9-1 in your last 10. You play the Brooklyn Nets next. That should be a win, so we should really say 10-1 their last 11, but it's the NBA. Anything can happen, but still, they're doing great things, man. And shout out to Sandro as well. I mean, being a big that can stretch out the floor, playing the power forward and center. He's a sniper as well. 44 from the 3, 56 from the field, giving you 10, 4, 2 with about a stock per game. For those who don't know, stock is steal plus block. They're doing incredible things, man. And I think in the NBA this year, in an Eastern Conference where it's not necessarily just top heavy, so it's not just Tatum, Giannis, Jimmy, and then the Cavs sneaking in, and then whoever else wants to do something, probably New York. Indiana's also out this year. The Magic aren't necessarily performing to their full potential. It's going to be really interesting to see how this playoff picture turns out with the Raptors if they are able to keep up that second seed. Because, right now you're probably playing the Hawks or the Magic if the season were to end today. Both very winnable matchups for the Toronto Raptors, and then from there you probably play the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Miami Heat, probably the Cavs. The Raptors are 2-0 against the Cavs so far this season. Very winnable matchup for them as well. I'm not saying we're going to see a 6 trip to the chip this year, but do not sleep on the Toronto Raptors. We've got to appreciate what Darko and all those guys are doing. So shout out to that big 3-headed snake in Scotty, in Ingram, and RJ Barrett. Quickly, Sandro, Poeltl, everybody's doing their thing. Just incredible stuff to watch from the Raptors. Shout out to the 6, man. The 6 is, again, associated with winning. With that being said, though, guys, that is going to do it for us today. Again, as always, if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow the Instagram and TikTok below for daily hoops content, and make sure you follow these socials below as well to get more Samajai, more Rois, more Sean, more Daniel, more Marcus, more Chad, and more Joachim, myself talking right now. Again, as always, if you enjoy the content, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click that notification bell to get notified when we upload daily uploads on this channel, and we will see you all in the next one.